This $140 unit plays games for the Genesis and Mega Drive, Super Nintendo and Super Famicom, NES, regular non-Super Famicom, as well as Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. It comes with a wireless controller that has a micro-switch control pad similar to the Neo Geo Pocket Color, though the build quality isn't quite as nice. You can plug in real Genesis, NES, and Super NES controllers to use them to play games from any platform. And if you've got a player too, hey, there's controller ports on the other side. Light guns for any system are just not gonna work. In order to turn the unit on, you must press and hold the power button on the console and wait. And wait. And wait. Takes a while. The console features an HDMI output only, and it outputs at 720p 60 frames per second. The Retron 5 runs on an Android-based operating system with a Z-Link Spartan FPGA and a Rockchip processor. There's 1.2 gigabytes of internal storage for save files, screenshots, save states, and you can also put in an SD card for added space. And no, the system will not play ROMs off of the SD card, but you know some people are probably going to hack it sometime in the future. That's because the SD card, which you provide yourself, is the method that you'll use to update the firmware. There's tons of settings in the main menu screen where you can apply different filters, audio adjustments, controller button mappings, and so on. To use cheats in a game, you gotta download a file from Hyperkin's website. Step 5 is enjoy. I had trouble with step 5. The cartridges are pretty tough to insert and often even more difficult to remove. It's like they didn't even measure the thickness of the PCB boards when designing the thing. Look at these pins on the Super Nintendo slot. They're already bent out of shape. Same with the Famicom slot. Now they still work, but it makes me kind of wonder about Hyperkin's quality control. Please kill me! During gameplay, there are several graphical filters that you can apply. These can be done via the in-game menu, which you can access by pressing down and start at the same time. Each and every one of these causes a slight loss in detail, and to be honest, I don't care for the look of any of them. They look really smeary. There's also a scanline mode if you like that kind of thing. It makes playing on a non-CRT TV a little bit more tolerable, I guess, but I usually leave it off. Anyway, the video output quality is pretty damn good. Here's how Sonic looks on the Retron 5. Nice and clear with none of the smearing that you'd normally see in composite video on a real system. And here's how Sonic looks on a real Genesis. This right here was recorded in RGB, and every real Genesis has an RGB video output built right in, though most TVs in the US can't accept such a signal. Now, while the audio isn't 100% accurate to the real systems, I imagine it's close enough for most people. Here's how the real Genesis sounds. And here's the Retron 5. And here's the enhanced audio mode. Sounds like you're in a hollow tunnel or a big room. I didn't care for the enhanced.